Tonight we are in for a real pleasure because our very own Rev Deena Efferson is our speaker on the Channels of Light. Deena is our ceremonial director for Spiritual Unity Movement. I know that she's the musical director at the Antelope Valley Center for Spiritual Living, and she is a teacher and a light to the world. And I know there's many other accolades I could give her, but I really want to tell her we love her. Oh, here, they gave me your bio. Maybe. All right, okay, but no glasses, so.
Just say she's awesome.
Director of Facing Me, Transformational, if I put it way out here. Oh, there we go. I want to tell them who you are. All the beautiful things. Director of Consciousness Team member, musical director, like I said, in Antelope Valley, passage facilitator, honoring the cycles of your life through knowledge, wisdom, guidance, and practice. The reconnection practitioner, reconnective healing practitioner, a Reiki master, hypnotherapist, body worker, channel for the ancients to speak, creator of Rainstick Grooves, a system of fitness, dance, meditation, and performance, creator and producer of the Love Train concert series featuring the OJs, raising money and creating systems for developing social and cultural opportunities for the children of the world. Collaborative networker, joining groups in service, singer, writer, dancer, teacher, ordained in the ministry in 2010. Deena writes a regular column for Braveheart Women's publication and a student of metaphysical sciences at the University of Physical Sciences since 2010. She is my dear, dear friend. I love this woman to death, but not to death, to life.
Thank you.
I love you, I love you. Here we go. Give her a big round of applause.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be here and thankful to you and you and you and you and you. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your beingness. Thank you for your awareness and your consciousness. Thank you for contributing to who we are as a species. Thank you for everything that the planet is becoming is because of you. Thank you so much for who you've been in my life as a mentor and a teacher, and I just love you to death. For each and every one of you amazing human beings, I love you. I'm so grateful to each and every one of you because you came here tonight. Your presence here is supporting not only me, but the transformation of each and every one of us on the planet. I love you so much. And all that you do each and every day helps to change who we are as one huge family on the planet. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My opportunity this evening is to share. I have no idea what's going to happen tonight. He made me do it. So Patrick said, do it. I'm here. I was requesting a safe place to allow myself to express these, I'm just going to say, this gift that has been given to me. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know exactly what's going on. I only know that when I work with people and become clear, out it comes. So I'm going to sit down. There's a spider. No. No, spider, breathing life. In 2003, when this all first started for me, it was, a little weird and strange and out there, and I was just blessed with the knowledge that a granddaughter was being born, the first one. So it began with her. And as she came, and each grandchild after her came, I became more clear. They asked me lots of questions. They weren't afraid when I would speak in these other languages, not like the adults around them. So we're here today with consciousness, all of us on purpose here, knowing what we don't know that we're going to find out. Maybe one of you is the translator. Maybe someone here understands the words or it's the feeling of what it is that we're talking about or sharing. Maybe someone has a question that if the information that comes back, as it impacts your personal energy field, you might get the answer today, you might get the answer tomorrow. It might reveal itself by the activity of your meeting someone that's waiting for you to say hi. Which is part of the reason why it's called conscious communication tonight. Is there anybody in the room, and I would like you all to participate if you can see from where you are, is there anybody in this room, to you individually, that looks like you know them if you haven't met before? Is there anyone that looks familiar to you? Who looks familiar to you?
Oh my gosh, there's a lot of people here.
Who, name them, point.
That lady in the, I don't mean to point, I feel rude, but that lady in the blue shirt with the necklace. In the little footsteps.
Okay, anyone else?
Yeah, that lady back there with the glasses, with the silvery hair.
Okay. So, what I like to do is, the reason why I'm bringing up the fact that I'm speaking the languages is because it just might pop out, and I don't want anybody to be surprised. But what I wanted to do is to ask you to sit next to someone you do not know. But if you do feel comfortable with someone, you feel a connection with them, you feel related, go sit next to that person. Find your group. Yes, if you feel something with anybody, go. Yes, try not to be shy about it. Okay, so the reason why this is because often when we're out in the world, we go about our day, all of us, even us, whose work it is raising consciousness on the planet because we're paying attention to that. We're awake and aware enough that we know that that's what we're about. But as we go about in our day, even then, we often will look past people that we know we should stop and talk to.
Right.
We often will feel this thing that I should probably call, let me do that, and then we don't. We know that we each one look across the street at somebody and we'll make eye contact only to divert our eyes. And what we are doing in those moments is bypassing the gift. Hug your gift. There's a gift that we each bring to each and every situation, to each and every circumstance that we live in our everydayness. And so our job then as awake individuals is to stand strong in the knowing that we are the grain of salt that has already tipped the scale. It's not waiting to happen, it's happened. We're living in that part of the world now.
Right.
And since we have to act from that place in the world. So I can't walk past you anymore and go, like I'm afraid. You're my sister. You're my mother. You're my brother and my father too. Who knows who you've been to me throughout my lifetime, and I have never even met you. The influence that we have on each other's lives doesn't have to be this moment-to-moment connection that we see because we're here. It could be as simple as Lynn walked out the door and said hello to Jennifer, and Jennifer felt so uplifted because this lady smiled and her light was on. She turned around and went over here and saw Nick and said, oh my God, this lady just made me feel, and now Nick is all buoyant and he's walking around with his lightness of being, and he changes the next few 20 people that he comes in contact with. That's our job.
Right.
That's our job. We're not supposed to settle down, to sit still, to pretend like we don't know what's going on because it's happening inside of us.
Yes.
And so since it's happening inside of us, let it come out. Let the light turn on, and don't be afraid that it's shining. I'm one of those who will sit in it. I have in the past. But it doesn't feel good because there's stuff that's wanting to go, ah! But I'm still sitting in this. Okay, so while I'm sitting here, my body's all tight. And my hands are shaking and I can feel there's things going in my head. Oh God, my thoughts, oh, there they go. I'm on a spin now. I'm not loving the spin I'm in. It's kind of tripping me, got me turning around and around and around. So now what? Oh my God, what am I thinking about? I don't know, but oh my God, it's making me feel like, oh, I think I need. All right, stop. Oh. I should be breathing. Oh, let me do that. Let's all take a breath. So what are we doing when we do that? When we take in the breath, what is in the breath? It's the life force energy that is everything, that is in everyone, that is the creator of every world that exists. And so we breathe in this light, we breathe in this energy, we fill ourselves up, and if we're walking around and we've taken control of the out of craziness that was going on with the spin in thought, we've stopped, we've taken a breath, we've looked around and gathered some energy from outside, not stealing it from someone else. We gather the energy and pull it inside. Take a breath. Each and every time you take a breath, you have an opportunity to live a different life than the one you lived before.
Yes.
Each and every time you take a breath, you have the opportunity to place a thought of energy in it that's carrying information.
Yes.
What is the information that you're feeling? As they said in Star Trek, okay, this isn't really cool, but in the Star Trek series, they came up across these energy beings, and these energy beings looked at them and went, "You big, ugly bag of mostly water." Well, we are big bags of mostly water. Water, I think we're beautiful. We're water, and water retains the memory of what goes in it. It will hold the memory of what it was placed in. What are we? We're big containers of water. So since we're big containers of water, what are the thoughts we're putting in the container?
Right.
Now, if we're putting thoughts in the container that uplift us, that make us feel joy, that make us feel happy, then the container of light that we are, all the way down to the cellular level, is just sparking, 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 all over the place. Big old diamond facets of life reflecting back out into the world. Every joyous thought you have, every happy feeling, it's reflecting it back out into the world. This is where we shine. And as we shine, because we're placing thoughts that allow that to happen, instead of turning our containers of water into mud with muck thinking.
Right.
So we can end that today because we understand another way. We take a deep breath and we can go play out in the world and let our lights shine today.
Yay.
Take a deep breath. And so now that you're sitting next to people that feel familiar to you, the idea is to transfer information back and forth. You're doing that now because you're engaged in the field of one another in a very intimate way. But on the other hand, we're conscious beings living in this human world who have to go out every day into it. And as we do, what do we take with us? We take everything from everyone we've come in contact with. We carry that with us everywhere we go. So what are we giving as we do this? Because we're giving as well. So as you turn to the person sitting next to you and you find out who they are, where they live, What's inspiring their heart to be alive today? What brings them joy? What makes them happy? What plans do they have? What goals do they want? Who's their children and where do they live? And what was the last thing that inspired the answer to your questions? If your life is filled with the questions of, what next? What am I going to do now? It's better than spinning around in a circle. There's no need to spin. The spin happens, take a breath and stop. Hold, halt, relax. Take a breath and fill up with spirit, energy, which fills you with the knowledge, the information that you need to answer your questions. And once you have a question answered, you know what to do next. There's no wondering, what am I supposed to do? We don't have to worry about the how part of anything. We just need to allow our interactions with our mothers and our fathers, our sisters and our brothers, the stranger on the bus, the lady sitting in the park, the woman walking the dog, sitting out at the lake, whomever you run into. Don't let another day go by where you ignore the human being in your face. The human being present before you is the one that's come with the answer to your question, or they can help lead you to it.
Right.
Because God is flowing through each and every one of us.
Right.
The spirit of life force that created it all has information for us. How is it going to come to you? It's coming through the form of another human being.
Right.
We open our mouths and we speak. We open our mouths and we accept and gain knowledge. And knowledge, this whole body, is simply about communication. My device for communicating with the rest of us. And as we communicate with each other, don't be thinking that my body is for something else. My body is simply about being a bright light, opened up, available, ready to receive the information that you've given to me. And it allows me to turn and give to you back the information that I'm holding for you. We will not know what that is until we have a conversation.
Right.
So let's just all start talking a little bit more about not the superficial, but sometimes the message is hidden in the superficial. So don't judge the creation. Just have fun finding out what's up with you. What are we about to do? And I think that's all I have to say on that. What often happens with the languages that I speak is that it either just comes out. I think some of you have heard it. A lot of you have heard it, okay. But if you have a question, anyone, we'll see what happens, because usually if someone says, well, what do you have to say, then it just goes. But if not, we're good.
What's going on in your head or your body, in that moment? Because I've witnessed it. And, it sort of astounds me when I see it. But it's very interesting. And I'm wondering for you, what happens? Do you leave your body? Or do you become just a channel? What does that feel like?
Thank you. It's always different. Depending on what's going on, if it's a very organic thing, like I'm in the middle of giving someone a massage or something and then we'll just start talking, it's usually because I've moved over something and there's something that needs to be translated to them or through them. I'm not sure about any of that. But what happens for me, if we're just in the middle of a conversation and I start receiving a download, I'm still here. Information will be coming out of my mouth fast, often. My face might sometimes be distorted. But then we'll start settle into a groove. The words become more fluid. I relax my body, and I can hear everything that's being said because I'm totally with it. I'm conscious here. But at the same time, sometimes Deena will want to talk, get a word out. I can't get a word out. So I just wait till it passes. Patrick.
So let's see if we can demonstrate.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about the highest and purest energy that's coming into
So
the
you
planet
did she
right now.
could do some other or kotasho. What does the 就数这几个嘛，说有的对，是一个不大大小。That's not what I've been speaking lately. What I've been speaking lately sounds more American Indian.
That
Dale Shui, I thought, did it? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yes, well, it's different. Ma'am?
How can we be the most available to life?
How can we be the most available to life? I don't seem to have anything coming out of that, but I can answer it. Maybe that's why. Our being most available to light comes with our simply being willing to be so. As long as we are willing and we allow the willingness to lead us, then ego no longer has a place to interfere with what you're attempting to be and what you're attempting to do. And so in that case, you are already standing and holding that space that God has placed in you and for you and as you, the gift and the treasure. And so as the gift and the treasure, you are already the light, and you're already holding as much light as you can carry because there's nothing to block it. The flow is free. That answer? Ma'am.
To you folks, do they
I don't know if there's any folks.
do they have a message for us? Well, they were crying for the planet. They're crying for the planet.
Crying for the planet.
They're very upset about the condition that humanity has brought our world to. The word Zapotec came into my mind while you were talking. A lot of grief. They have a lot of grief, a lot of sorrow, because I could see through their eyes the beauty of what was and what has become, just the way the earth has become now.
Can't hear you over there.
Well, there's a lot of grief for the beauty of the planet, the greenery, the trees, and how we have cemented everything over and built buildings. Everything that was beautiful is gone. The animals are dying. The people don't care anymore. There is such sorrow in our hearts. Grief. There is no space to bury our dead. All are dying. We beg you to help us. We are begging you to tell the world what is happening. Tell them we're speaking for our planet, for this planet. for the lives of all the children of Mother Earth. There's an argument going on. He's saying they won't listen. She's saying that we have to try. They're fighting back and forth. And I could hear his voice and then her voice. She's begging and he's angry. And he's saying, they're not going to listen. They don't care. But she has the heart of a mother and she is begging for her children. She's begging on behalf of Mother Earth to try to heal the planet, to get people to understand.
We hear it. We know.
In the omnipresent field of love, all beings are experiencing their own duality in this dimension based on their ascension to return to the one who is divinity. And each time we outpicture anything other than the unification, it's just our growth into expansion. For every acorn becomes an oak tree, and every soul realizes itself as God consciousness. And as we look around this room, there's a cornucopia of fractals in a holographic field of I love you. And what's happening here is all good news. Even in the duality and the singularity, everything simultaneously is held by the Divine Mother. There is no separation anywhere. There is only the illusion of fear. And as we return to the central force of love, we all celebrate our different talents, which is why we interface to begin with. And as the flower of life starts to reconnect to itself, the Garden of Eden starts to be ushered in from the heavenly dimensions through our own heart chakras. The best thing we can do at this time is to empty ourselves into absolute nothingness to hold the most amount of light in the present moment, which is all you ever have anyway. Aho Mitakiasa Aho. I think it's time.
Can you say one? I do have a request, and it comes right on the heels of what Athena just said in her interpretation of the energies coming through. I see that the work that you're doing, that you are bringing down packets of light. And those packets of light are distributed in a way where they need to go at the moment, to go into each individual cellular structure, to begin to raise and raise and raise for the ascension process. And the ascension process, we know, is coming through the language that you're bringing forth. And I am so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
The original message, it's so interesting to be in this venue with you doing this, because I've heard you do this over 100 times, but I never really listened before because you weren't sitting in the center of the room. But anyway, what I heard in the original message was a very simple cry and call to love yourselves, to love each other as much as I have always loved you.
Thank you. Okay, so entonces, in Spanish. I know that word. So then, we all have come here today knowing on purpose that we were coming. We all recognize that in this life, we have a short number of years upon it, and we may as well get to it. We are a gift, and we carry gifts to share. And so, as you've met part of your group, because I'm all about the group, as you will, As you've met your new partners in destiny, exchange the information, carry the conversation past this evening so that you can discover who you are to each other, what you're meant to give and do together. There's a huge movement happening on this planet, and we are it. We're it. You know, all of us together, recognizing that the shift has already happened. Let's just get our shift together. And you know, we can raise our planet's vibration, the people on it who live, and how we treat each other. You know, this is the time. It's now. It's now. So thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, I have to stand on these sleeves. Thank you, I love you. Okay. Oh, basta, senhor. And with that, let's bring the lights down. Take a nice deep breath together. As one unit of light. In one location. For one purpose. As one being. Let us take a deep breath. And as you take the next deep breath, pay attention to where your feet are. Do you feel them? Pay attention to your seat in the chair. Can you feel it? Can you hear the sounds of the street noise? Can you hear it? Can you hear your breath? Continue breathing deeply and listening deeply. And listen to the breath. With each breath you take, become more grounded, become more centered. And place your hands with your palms facing upward on your lap, where you will receive a perfect special gift just for you. This gift is a purple and black egg. It's flecked in gold. This is an etheric egg, a spirit egg, an egg of creation. Just hold it and take a deep breath. And now draw this egg into your abdomen and feel it as it nestles comfortably inside you. And so now bring your attention to your heart center. And within your heart dwells the eternal flame of your being. And as you bring your heart flame into focus, direct love to it, and your flame will grow. See it, feel it, imagine it, or know as your flame intensifies. as it brightens and as it grows, as it sends warmth and light throughout your entire being. A crown is placed on your head. Notice what your crown is made of and how it feels. This crown marks the empowerment and provides the doorway through which your consciousness travels as you journey using this alchemical pathway. And bring your attention now to where the egg has been gestating in your abdomen. And as you focus on the egg, its outer shell is absorbed into your abdominal wall, where it reveals a cauldron, a golden vessel filled with the primordial waters of life. As you observe this vessel, it expands to fill the space of your abdomen. The spirit of a healing herb is placed within your cauldron. Allow a moment for it to steep, releasing its essence into the waters within. Begin to stir the waters of your life in your golden cauldron. And as you stir these waters, they begin to rise. Continue to stir up the waters, and as they are uplifted, they will meet the fire in your heart. You might even hear the sizzing, the bubbling, the crackling, as the water hits the fire and creates steam. The steam rises, moves up through your chest, up through the shamanic doorway in your throat, and it begins to gather in your head. Perhaps you can now smell the fragrance of the plant spirit as it rises with the steam. And as the steam fills your head, put all your focus and attention into the stream of the steam. You might feel a momentary pressure as your head fills with the steam. It will lift your consciousness up through your crown and into your light body. In this place, you meet your guide presence in whatever form they present themselves to you. If you cannot see this being, feel, imagine, or simply know their presence, they will come around to stand before you. This guide is glad to see you, for he has much to share. You can ask questions, or simply stay open to receive any messages that may be for you at this time. Look for the hidden messages. The longer you stay, the more details you will receive.
this experience is complete for you this time, please take the time to thank your guides or whatever presence has shown up for you. They will assist you back into your physical body and your ordinary consciousness. Back through the doorway that is your crown. Feel yourself in your chair. Feel your feet on the floor. Take a deep breath in. Take another deep breath in. Thank you.
Now, if you would get out your programs, I would like to have us all together say our closing invocation to bring us back. Father, Mother, God, and Goddess, thank you for the blessings we have received. Be with us now as we leave this sacred circle and go forth into our daily lives, taking the energy generated here tonight out into our homes, our work, the people we love, and all we touch. May we be your open channels into this world each day. We are channels of light. And I have never read this closing invocation any more present, Deena, than I just read it. So thank you so much. I want to again just have us give a beautiful thank you to the Rev Deena Efferson. Also, once again, to Tapas Yogi Nandi, Athena Starcy Castali, and Tina Gardner. What a glorious, glorious night this has been for me, and I'm just knowing for each one of you.